Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. Concrete, masonry, stucco, plaster, whatever the building material you need, A.G. Hines Company provides it, just as they've done since way back in 1920, 100 years. And for you do-it-yourselfers, they also provide the tools you need and the tips to do it right. A.G. Hines Company. Get down there and see them this week. Give them a call. Check them out online. Okay, this is our Hot Read segment. 2 quick questions. And the first one, you see here, lighting a fire. Vols in the first half. Let's look at the run game. First half, 11 rushes, 10 yards. Now, some of those were quarterback sacks, runs, but 8 carries by your backs in the first half. Vols in the second half, 22 rushes, 123 yards. So my question, guys, who got their butt chewed more at halftime? The offensive line by Jim Chaney or Jim Chaney by Jeremy Pruitt? In terms of, was it the offensive line? Was that why they weren't running well in the first half? Or were they just not given as much opportunity? Who got their butt chewed more?
I'd have to say the offensive line for this one reason. They came out with a different attitude after the half. They were outmanned, and South Carolina was the aggressive person in the first half, taking it to them. So for me, I looked at that. They had an attitude readjustment in the halftime locker room because they looked a little bit meaner, a little bit more finishing of blocks. You know, there was definitely a tone of "where's your manhood" kind of thing in that locker room. So I think they found a little bit of their "I got to be mean" or "this other guy's going to be mean to me" for that film session on Monday is going to be awful.
Okay, he says the run game was down because of the offensive line in the first half.
I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to say that I don't know about butt chewing, but I'm going to say the offensive coordinator was strongly encouraged to run the football, and here's why. The very first drive of the second half, so Tennessee marches, 74 yards? Every play in that drive except one was a run. Run, through a 10-yard pass, run. 8 of the plays were out of 9, I think it was 9. They were runs, and I think there was an emphasis on that. I think it was, hey, Jim Chaney, we need to run the football. It needs to be you need to get after that. It needs to be an emphasis, priority, and I think that was the mindset they came out with, and I think that's one reason they ran the ball better.
Yeah, and I think your offensive coordinator was also encouraged to pick up the tempo a little bit. I mean, didn't you notice that hey, we've got an advantage here. We just need to capitalize on it. And then I think that was also communicated to the offensive line. And it was kind of funny, John. Georgia did almost the same thing in their game. Kind of lackluster first half, then comes out second half, run. So there's something to that. I mean, you brag and you boast about this offensive line and how good it is. Give them a chance to go to work, and I'd rather put it on them than the quarterback.
I credit Sterling because at halftime yesterday, he zipped me a text message. I put it on Twitter. He zipped me a text message saying they need to run at the 7-hole, number 52 over there. That's how they came out with the first 3 runs in the second half, and all 3 of them worked. So, bravo, Sterling Hinton. Question number 2, guys, and I'll start with Will on this one. How did you feel overall? We wondered about the front 7. You lose Darrell Taylor. What's the pass rush going to look like? Tackling without Batuli, leadership without Batuli. Your take on the front 7 overall?
Well, I thought the front 7 of the defense did a great job overall last night because, one, it's a first game. You held them at 2.5 yards per carry. You won first down. And then you had your 2 outside linebackers that, for the most part in that game, collapsed the pocket. They got 3 sacks combined from Bennett and Johnson. Mm-hmm. And they had several more quarterback pressures that caused mess-ups and plays and mistakes. So
the pick 6
was
exactly pressured by DeAndre Johnson.
Yeah, so I thought overall it was that was kind of a confidence builder of, okay, you're back to that team that can win up front and play with some big boys. So I thought that was a very good game for them to come out and show that. They've got some other stuff they need to work on, but that was a good first game for that group.
Front 7?
I agree. I think we'll hit it. I think it was a really good game. The pressure they got surprised me a little bit. I thought the outside linebackers, Johnson and Bennett, did a nice job with the pressure. Henry To'o played really well. They started Elijah Simmons, which surprised me, but I thought they did a good job. Going in, to me, there was a little bit of a question mark. Okay, the defensive line probably, in my opinion, overachieved a little bit. And was that Tracy Rocker? Or was that the players getting better themselves? Well, Rocker's now on that South Carolina sideline, and I thought the defensive line held up well. They didn't give South Carolina much on the ground. I give a thumbs up to that front seven.
Yeah, I mean, I know the front seven is not one position group, but I mean, that was your best group on the field, wasn't it? I mean, and on the pick six, all things being equal, that was really the difference in the game in a lot of ways. And you had pressure, forced the quarterback to move up in the pocket. He makes a bad throw, and then Henry To'oTo'o said he went back to running back mode, and what a great play he made.
There was one thing, too, I thought was worth noting, that the announcer said that Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator at South Carolina, had told them they were trying to isolate Crouch in the pass game to try to take advantage of him because that's not his strength. I thought a couple of times they did a good job with that, but that's about the only thing I could nick them for.
And we'll talk a little bit more about the success South Carolina had passing underneath and where the blame goes on that a little bit later in the show. When we come back, we have a new segment. It focuses on bad decisions. That's what we're going to look at next in our new segment, Why They Were Stupid. Come on back.